what can I do? What can people do? People that are already have a business that they are testing things, testing channels. What can they do to sell more, like in this quarter?
Yeah.
You know, is there anything, something like
the
that?
most common low-hanging fruits.
Yeah,
that
something
they've
that they are probably messing up.
And of course, that's like every business is different, so
Yeah,
it becomes very hard. So I think that really the question you're asking is, how do I get that creative big idea that for my unique situation is going to help me grow really fast? And that, I think, is two things. One, unfortunately, you do have to go through the iteration process.
Okay.
You need a lot of bad ideas to figure out the one good idea. But the shortcut there to find the good idea faster is spending more time with your customers. The more time you talk with your customers, the more time you survey your customers, the deeper you understand them, the more likely you're going to come up with actually that magic bullet that says, this is how we're going to grow this business. So when I was with Dropbox, for example, I very quickly learned that the users on Dropbox absolutely love Dropbox, and they tell their friends about it all the time. Mm-hmm. And so the big idea that really helped to grow Dropbox faster was, let's give them an incentive to bring in other people, and let's make that incentive free space on Dropbox. And so, I think it's starting with that realization that people already talk a lot about Dropbox. They have a lot of ways to share, and let's figure out a way to amplify that. And so when we introduced an incentive, we saw a very fast, significant acceleration in growth. And so again, I don't think, but I can tell you with Dropbox, I ran a survey to Dropbox users for my first 30 days there. It was not the same users each day, but I ran a different survey every single day to users. So what I learned today gave me 5 more questions. I ran another survey to a different 1,000 users. And then the next day I ran another survey to the next 1,000. So it's having that intense curiosity to truly understand how they interact with the product, what they need, what they do out in the outside world that makes them need the product. And when you do that, that's when you get the big ideas that quickly accelerate growth.
Survey with the clients should be a routine, not some specific thing.
Yeah. But what's interesting is I didn't always think that way. Mm-hmm. So what I used to think, I even had an investor one time tell me, he used to always say to me, when was the last time you talked to a customer? And I would say, you know what? I don't really care what customers say. I care what customers do. And I'm always testing to get them to do better things. I thought, I'm young in my 20s being a smart ass. And he said, okay, that's nice. I want you to talk to a customer every single day. And so, all right. So every day he kept telling me, when was the last time you talked? So of course I want to say, talk to a customer 2 hours ago. So anytime he asked me, I wanted to be able to give him that answer. And what I found was I started running much better experiments when I talked to customers, because now it wasn't just random guessing, but I was truly understanding the customers in a way that led me to run experiments that could get a lot more of them to have a great experience with the product.
I really think that people have the culture to try to see the customer as they don't really know what they want. You know? Yeah, they don't know what they want. If they knew what they want, they weren't going to need me.
Yeah, the whole Ford thing, they want a faster horse,
Yeah, that's the perfect example. But at the same time, do you get like some type of tips or things that customers say that don't work or how can you measure if it's a good thing or something like a faster horse?
Yeah, so my way of doing that is I think you can do 2 things. One, when you're trying to innovate, you can actually spend a lot more time understanding the customer problem so that your solution is a better solution. But then I think what I uniquely do is when I'm trying to grow a company, I want to make sure that people actually care about that product. And so I want to come in after they've proven people care about the product, then I can effectively grow that company. So I came up with a survey question that helped me uncover that, where I ask existing users on the product, how would you feel if you could no longer use this product?
Must have a scar.
Yeah.
Must have score.
So I made that up when I was at Dropbox. I made that question up, and that question helps me identify users who say, I would be very disappointed without this product. And so now that tells me, okay, this is what success looks like. And I want to create 1 million more of these successes. But until I have that one success of a customer who says, I would be very disappointed. So then how did that customer discover the product? What did they first do with the product? What were they using before? What is the main benefit they get from the product? And so I'll give you an example. I had one company I went in and worked with in the very early days, and I asked that question to their customers, and only 7% of the customers said, I would be very disappointed without this product. And I was committed to work with them for 6 months. And I was like, maybe I should have asked this question before I committed, but too late. So I'm going to make the best of the situation. We got the next group of customers to sign up. We're at 40%. And then 6 months later, it was at 60%. So it only took us 2 weeks to move from 7% to 40%. And we did that by truly understanding the 7%. How were they using the product? What is the benefit they were getting? Change the messaging to highlight that benefit. Now the next group of users came in to use the product with the right expectations about what the product was truly great at.
But you just change the message or you change the product?
I did 2 things. I changed the message first, and that created like a filter to bring in, maybe even my
correct customer.
My conversion rate might have even been a little bit lower.
But
now,
correct expectation.
I'm bringing the right customers in. But then the other thing that I did was we had like 4 or 5 different parts of the product. One was important to that benefit. So I hid the other 4. I said, okay, you come in, you're going to set up this part of the product first. And now we delivered on that benefit. So they had the right expectation, and they very quickly said, wow, it really does do that. This is great. Then slowly we could introduce them to the other things the product did. But so it's very easy to change the messaging, and it's very easy to hide some of the stuff. And so that was how we were able to quickly, and that business went from me thinking they're going to go out of business soon to being $1 billion valuation in just a few years.